Morning, everybody. Afternoon, everybody, depending on where you are in the world. We're going to bring in a guest here in about 1 minute. You know that? We got a pretty cool guest coming in.
I didn't know, and when I learned who it was, I'm so excited.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's pretty cool when you get to meet different people in different areas. Like, if you think about, if you go out there and you talk about artists, the guy who paints a painting, or the guy who takes that photograph,
yeah,
that's an artist. The guy who paints it's an artist. The guy who makes things is an artist.
Yeah.
And then there's like art that you put onto your mantle, you put art on the wall. But there's guys in the film industry that they create all kinds of stuff that you don't like dead bodies. We just did that Bill Teresakis stuff. We had hands, we had teeth. Then you got guys who do sci-fi stuff and all kinds of different levels, from guns. So today, we're lucky enough to meet an artist.
Very lucky.
Very lucky. That's going to talk a little bit about what he did. And remember, he's an artist, so, a little artsy.
Yeah.
But then we wouldn't hold that against him.
And you seldom get the chance to meet the people behind the things that.
That's right. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, like Bill Teresakis, the guy came back. Sorry, how do I say this? Bill Teresakis passed away.
Yeah.
And we got to meet his wife, Maureen, and Rick, who was with him. And you'd ask them a question, and even though they were there, they answered as much as possible.
Yeah.
But it was, it would have been too bad to have Bill to come in and talk.
Yes.
But we have Booth Milton, actually, the owner of the White Monkey Props local company.
Yeah.
And let's bring him in and let's talk a little bit about what he does.
Come on in, Booth.
Right there. Hey, wait, watch this, Bruce. You probably haven't had this for a while. Woohoo! Woo! I almost got it. Bruce Milton.
No, Booth Milton.
Booth Milton.
Booth.
Yes.
We're all clapping. We're all happy. You got a standing O. Booth, pleasure to meet you.
Yes.
So tell us, what the heck is, what are we doing? We're not talking about this yet, but what is it that you do?
For most of my career, I built custom props for TV, commercials, and features.
Features meaning?
Feature films.
Feature films. Like tell me a couple of offhand. I mean.
Fantastic Four.
I love that.
I did 1 and 2, X-Men 1 and 2, Sucker Punch, Watchmen, IRobot.
People are going to ask me this. Did you ever to meet any of the guys?
During X-Men 2, I was actually at Hugh Jackman's house when he was renting down at Cornwall. I had to take measurements off him because I had to do these restraints, and so we made what we call a hero, and then we did rubbers so that it was comfortable for him.
So people always say, what does hero mean? Is that a name of a show, or what is a hero?
Well, Heroes is the name of the show, but hero means, how do I say it? This is a hero. So when the actor picks it up, it becomes front and center. When we're doing set deck, for instance, like this piece here, this would be considered background. And so then it's all about your face, and whatever's in the background is going to be out of focus.
So you did a lot of hero stuff?
Yes, most of my career.
Most of your career. So how many shows do you think you made stuff for? 10, 20?
Oh, well over 20.
100?
I don't know if 100 is accurate, but somewhere
in there. So you've done pretty much almost every local show here in Vancouver, of course.
Yeah, yes, but there's more than my shop. For instance, I knew Bill, and there's a lot of people in the industry that have died.
Yeah.
So
you, like, for example, this, like, what is this? You made this.
Yeah, this is just we call it a tesseract, which is kind of a ripoff from
a piece from
the Avengers, but it's really more simple than it looks. But that's the trick, is to fool people into thinking that it's more than what it is. It's simply one of those glass architectural bricks, only a plastic one. The triangles are made from rice molds.
Rice molds?
Yeah, the stainless steel rice molds for
Right.
Minglo or something like that. And we spray it with mold release, and then we hit it with some, we pour in some clear urethane. And then this is just a piece of plexi, and with a laser engraver, you draw up a circuit board.
That's how that laser comes. And this is like a hand. It's kind of a cool hand.
Yeah, we were asked. Somebody came in on Friday and wanted an AI lab, which is artificial intelligence, by Monday. So we had all our 3D printers just going to town making these. They're pretty low res actually, but they're. But anyways, so we managed to make the lab in time, and
So this would have been on to which show?
I can't remember.
You see, this is what's important, Wolf. This is what I was going to get at.
Yeah.
This part right here. So, Booth has done. We talked yesterday over 50 shows anyway, close to 100. Can't say, but even I noticed this with Bill Terazakis, and I'm only going to compare the two because although that you could see some of the stuff, and it was really like the ape from the Planet of the Apes. We knew that was Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
But there was thousands, and this guy Booth has got thousands of these things. He is an artist, first and foremost. And when you talk, an artist creates something. Okay, I say, Booth, I need you to make me an alien that looks like this Filipino guy right over here, but I want him to have a big set of lips. So right away, he would come up with this a creation, make this, obviously gets paid for it, and there it is. And does he care what show it goes on? No, because if I'm wrong, you can tell me. So basically, you're like you create this stuff for the shows. They take it, they rent it. Like yesterday, we were at a shop, and a whole bunch of weird looking things came in, all from the Flash.
Wow.
So he made all these things. They rented it. Was used in the scenes, but to him, it was he manufactured it, rented it. That's how he get paid, and then he would get on to the next show, and then people would come in and say, "Hey, we need some kind of a whatever," and then he would create it. And the office would handle it. They get the money. They either rent it out. Right?
Yes, it's what happened was I decided that I'd be in control of the art department, not the other way around.
Right.
So
I mean proprietary.
yes, well, not only that, design wise,
Right.
I didn't feel like chasing their tail, so I chased my own.
Right.
That's
And,
how artists are.
Yeah,
That's how artists are. Well, he's smarter because he didn't sell a soul. Is what he did. I
Yes.
think.
no. But before that, I used to do interiors of restaurants and things like that, and like art restaurants. Like,
Right.
I worked closely with Harvey Chang with the Flying Wedge,
Right.
and doing interiors. And I cut my teeth doing Benny's Bagels
Right.
on Broadway.
Yep.
All the tables, all the cool,
Yeah.
weird tables. If you want a weird table, get someone who's never made a table before.
Well, I can't even. Well, I can't. Don't even ask. I can't even assemble a table. So.
Well, all my tables are not like they curve off.
Yeah.
like
Right. Right.
have holes in the center, But and then Harvey saw that, and then I went on to do that kind of work for a while.
So really, again, this is one of probably 1,000 items in a shop.
Mm-hmm.
If I were to say that you created that, this could have been on or rented out to a number of different shows, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So the focus on this auction is to basically honor the legacy of Booth. And then what's important is for people who are looking at it. So we might, there we go. No. So we might have this item, but we're not 100% sure, and he's not 100% sure. So people, when we have these auctions, well, what show? What? The I guess the Trekkies or the guys who are watching it. Look, this is the guy that did it.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a list of all the shows. We've seen the invoices.
Yeah.
But how do I know it's authentic? Well, unless he can tell us that he knows specifically, it's going to be hard to tell as to like how many times this was rented. This was done for a lab. this could have been done for this could have been done for that. So he has a lot of it, but it's hard to, like, how do you say it? So if you are watching The Flash, if you are watching Fantastic Four, you're guaranteed to have something that he created that's in that show.
Well, one of my favorite shows that I worked on was Eureka. And always, and I got to design and build a lot of it. And we'd go through the script, and I'd go, I think I've got just the thing. And I'd get on my motorcycle, and I'd ride back to the shop, and I'd come running back with the object, and then we'd give it to a illustrator. His name was Mark Stoke. He's an old friend of mine. And then we'd give it to him, and then he would draw around it. Mm-hmm. And then we'd send it to LA. LA would say, that's great, send it back to us. And then we'd nail it because we already had the piece.
Well, so it's safe to say that we're going to be able to have a lot of it, but understand a lot of these guys, this is their creativity is art, and that art transpires into cash from rentals or sales. So I think in this auction it's going to be really important is that people who, watch some of the shows that he does, and we're going to list them off. They can actually probably Google the show, find that item, because he can't answer it, and that's normal. But a lot of people are asking, and I know this is going to be, does Booth have a IMDb page? And the reason is
No.
why?
I was too busy. And it wasn't that important to me.
So a lot of people when they show shop or when they want to buy props and that, they always look at the IMDb page. However, how long has a White Monkey been in business? And by the way, how'd you come up with the name White Monkey?
Well, I used to be, what was I called before? Milton Design. But what happened was we found ourselves having to change our name. And the thing is...
Just so you know, hold on 1 second. While we're doing this, if there's something that you don't like, we can always edit it later.
Okay.
Yeah, so don't have to worry too much. Like we'll edit it, correct? Yeah.
Yeah. So, White Monkey came from a mythic character from India that went down to rescue, I believe, Sita from Lanka, the demon.
Okay.
And then the other part is actually Journey to the West and the Monkey King, which is a Chinese classic. And because I've experienced both.
You lived in Beijing.
Yes, not exclusively. My family did.
Right.
And I traveled a lot through India and Sri Lanka, so I sort of put the two together, and that's White Monkey.
So Milton Design and the White Monkey. How long has a White Monkey been a prop house?
White Monkey itself has been a prop house since 2003.
And Milton Design?
Since 1980 something, 89.
So were you producing stuff under Milton Design as well as a White Monkey?
Yes.
Okay. So I think that's really important. We're looking forward to putting this together. Again, a lot of people are going to ask, is this here, is this here? You hear it from the monkey's mouth. Right? He's basically saying, yeah, this is this, this is this. And a lot of these things, how you have to look at it, again, I'm not even going to ask him what show this was on, but this was done by the owner of the White Monkey, Booth Milton. It could have been a prototype, it could have been something that was used, wasn't used, but it's sort of like if you take Picasso and you got the finished Picasso, but then you have the back end, like, the underground stuff. It's actually his stuff. So people who are wanting to buy a piece of Hollywood have a chance to buy a piece of Hollywood, correct?
Yes.
They have a chance to see Booth because he's alive and kicking.